Dirty Briefs with Alex Hooper. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Dirty Brief. Now, this one today is going to be crucial advice if you want to go on a major TV show like America's Got Talent. For those of you that don't know, I have been on the show multiple times. I was in 2018 and 2020 where I was a quarterfinalist, and a lot of people ask me, Alex, how did you, a subversive, somewhat offensive comedian, end up on a family-friendly show like AGT? Well, I'll tell you right now, it was not the path that I expected to go on, but it has led to many wonderful things in my career, and I am forever grateful to the show for allowing me to come on and do what I do. In this case, on the show, roasting the judges to filth. It was so fun to go in there and play this character that is infallible, invincible, and it wasn't easy to get on the show. I was recruited. I didn't have to stand in a line, but I still had to prove that I would be a good fit on America's Got Talent. And that is not an easy thing to do when they are looking at thousands upon thousands of people to perform on the show. So, I want to give you my top 5 audition tips for America's Got Talent because they just opened up for the next season and they are looking for people for you specifically. So if you want to be on a show or if you even just want to audition just for yourself, well, here are my tips to get you on that show. First of all, number 1, what's your reason for wanting to go on America's Got Talent? Are you a huge fan of the show and you want to be a part of it? Do you want to just smell Heidi Klum's feet? Do you want to stare into Simon Cowell's wrinkled squash of a face? Are you so secure in your talent that you're ready to show it to the world? You need to know why you're going on a show like that because it is unpaid work and it is a lot. They are going to come at you all the time, sending new tapes, new ideas. What are you going to do? You need to be fresh all the time, and you need to be prepared to go on a major network television game show like America's Got Talent. So first and foremost, know the reason why you want to go on the show. Number 2, do you know anyone who has been on the show? Because it is very difficult to get America's Got Talent to pay attention to you. So if you know someone who's been on in the past, reach out to them and ask them who their casting producer is. Everyone on America's Got Talent gets assigned to multiple producers, but first comes casting. And they have to watch a tape of someone before they can come on. So they love watching new tapes because a casting producer, they make more money when they put more people on the show. So the more people that they find, the better it is for them and the show. So try to get yourself to a front of the line somehow. You can definitely, just sending in a tape, it's going to be tough to get noticed. Number 3, ask yourself, are you ready for this type of exposure? Because if you make it on the show, lots of crazy things are going to happen to you in your life. Somebody reached out to me. This is the whole reason I'm making this, by the way, is because a lot of people asked me how to audition, how I got on the show. And somebody recently reached out saying they were hit up by a producer, but they only have 15 minutes of material. Should they audition? No, you only get 2 to 3 minutes for your audition. Now, you might have 2 to 3 minutes of a talent, but that doesn't mean that it's sustainable. 2 to 3 minutes is nothing. That's one song, a few jokes, or one time to light yourself on fire while juggling babies. If you're not ready to tour an entire act, you're wasting your own time. You want to develop what you're doing and make sure that if you do get this national exposure, international exposure, that you're going to be ready to capitalize on what it is. So before you audition, make sure that you're comfortable not only with yourself and your act, but traveling nonstop and being a part of a bigger conversation than just yourself. Number 4. This one's going to be a little tough to hear, but be prepared for rejection. Part of being in the entertainment industry is learning to love rejection. You need to love the word no because you're going to hear it frequently. In fact, the more you put yourself out there, the more you're going to hear it. Now, there's nothing wrong with the word no. It makes the word yes feel so good. Gosh, I can come in my pants every time I hear the word yes. But you can't take offense if they don't choose you. Every year, 80,000 people audition for America's Got Talent. How many will ever make it to air? A little over 100. That's it. Those numbers are not in your favor. So it doesn't mean you're not talented, but AGT needs to fit you in the mold of the show. I've had friends that have auditioned for America's Got Talent, gotten in front of the judges, gotten 4 yeses, thought their whole life was going to change, and then they never heard anything again. Maybe it was because they already had an act that was similar. Maybe it's because they just couldn't fit them into the narrative that they needed. But it's still a TV show. They need to be able to work with you. So if you don't make it on the show, don't fret at all. There's always next year, or there's plenty other ways to get yourself out there. Have you tried smoking crack under a bridge? Maybe that will get you noticed. I know it will definitely distract you from being on America's Got Talent. Let's go to tip number 5. Tip number 5, everyone. This is the most important tip that I'm going to give you. Be yourself and be memorable. That's everything. Memorable. The show doesn't need mediocrity. They're looking for awe-dropping talent, undeniable in any form. So if you're great, show them how great you are. If you do get a meeting with a producer, go in there and act like you're already on the show. The second you are talking to those people, you need to be on, and you need to prove to them why you are worthwhile to pay attention to. Presentation goes a long way. Be memorable. You need to either be the greatest thing they've ever seen or be the worst. Suck. If you're going to suck as hard as you possibly can. Look at a good friend of mine. Look at Seth Ward. Now, I don't think Seth Ward sucks, but the show has put him on there more times than any other contestant in history, even though he is known for massive failure. But it's entertaining as shit. Therefore, they keep bringing him back. That's so important, everyone. The show will try to mold you into something that they need, but you need to remain true to yourself, and you need to do whatever your talent is in a way that goes above and beyond what everyone else is doing. The reason why I got chosen is because I was roasting in a way that was silly and fun, and they understood that it was lighthearted. It was also weird as fuck. So that's how I got on the show. Now, a lot of people ask me, but how did you end up back? You bombed your first audition so hard. First of all, yes, but I bombed in a very memorable way that was great for television, and that's the reason why that clip has remained basically immortal. Somebody told me that when I did it. A huge comedian was like, Alex, this is immortally funny. And I didn't understand what that means, but 5 years later, I totally get what it means because people are still discovering that clip. How did I get back? Well, that clip went so viral that I pitched myself. America's Got Talent did not come to me and say, Alex, you got to do this again. I went to them and said, guys, this clip was huge. It was a moment in time, and I think we can recreate it. And sure enough, they agreed. And I still had to go in there, write new jokes, make a new tape, and show them how I would do it differently than I did the first time. I had to create a story. We decided that if I apologized and then did the same thing, that would be great television. And you know what? We were right. I'm very proud of my work on America's Got Talent. It's a way a lot of people have found me. It is a iteration of myself that has forced me to prove that I am a comedian worth paying attention to, but it also has proved that I am resilient, that I can take heat, because getting booed like that in that first time, it would have been easy for me to crawl into a hole and never show my face again. But instead, I just kept coming back. And look what happened. Became a quarterfinalist in 2020 when no one thought that was going to happen. So, if you have a tip for auditioning for America's Got Talent, please write it in the comments or send me a message. I'm at Hooper Hairpuff on all social media, at cravecomedy.com or at cravecomedy on YouTube. So, find me on there and shoot me a message, because I want to hear your experience with auditioning. It's scary to put yourself out there, but the growth that can come from within when you take chances like that are astronomical. So go be an astronaut, go to outer space, and walk on Saturn. Everyone, I'll see you next week.